it doesn't shock me an outlet like By Any Means Necessary with stated anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist, and of course anti-war views would be targeted like this. But we are seeing the voices and the podcast of our comrades on the left summarily being unplugged, right? They are just deleting niggas shit off the internet. And it's crazy because I hope everyone is paying very close attention. Like, there is no American exceptionalism. There is no, everybody has a freedom of speech. All political viewpoints are welcome in America. That's some bullshit. And, excuse me. And it's not some new bullshit. It's not some recent development of new bullshit. No, this is long been the case. And this is giving us big Red Scare, big McCarthyism vibes, is it not? And I want us to take notice of who has been removed, where they have been removed from, and there's absolutely a common thread happening upon the people who are being censored by American corporate media. Okay, so as much as everybody, not y'all. Not y'all, the rest of them fools out there in the world, as much as they like to wag the finger at outlets like Russia Today and Sputnik Radio, like those are state-sponsored agencies. Where? It's so bad. Okay, here's my question. How come they don't put on Twitter and other social media platforms, for example, for people who appear on Russia Today and related outlets, how come they don't put that state-sponsored media tag on people who report for the BBC, people who report for France 24, people who report for Deutsche Welle? Like, aren't those state-sponsored media organizations? Of course they are. Of course they are. But those stations represent that Western imperialism, right? Those outlets are part of the NATO axis, if you will. And those are the media apparatuses of the states that is down with the same shit that America is down with. Imperialism, right? Go drop bombs on people in order to get our economic interest advanced and to quell any sort of leftist political uprising or organization, right? So go away with your American exceptions. Like, that's it. That's finished. Like, cancel that. Anybody who in the year of our Lord 2022 will still tell you that the United States of America is the greatest country on earth, automatically, everything that they say after that, discounted because they have rendered themselves not credible on a variety of levels. Oh, wait, we got some more. Wait, is that more money? You guys are so awesome. Listen, well, hold on. No. I'll tell you about the fundraising stuff later on in the joint, because this is important. We got to get to this. Hey, OB, thank you so much, baby. Thank you, OB. Thank you. I love to see my Black Power Media stars in here as well. Love to see y'all in here as well. That's what I'm saying. We community out here. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you, OB. Love you so much. Let's go to the document, shall we? Because I want us to just be clear on who's been canceled out here, and I say canceled. Maybe cancel's overstating it, but who's been censored? That's not overstating it at all. Because guess what? I dare somebody try to cancel Jackie Lukman. You're gonna have to meet me in the street. You're gonna have to meet me in the street, pimp. Let's get that A1 up here, Tunde, because I want us to go through some tweets, so we can show solidarity with our comrades, and so you guys can know, if you were listening to By Any Means Necessary, for example, on iHEART Radio or Spreaker, or what was the other one? Fucking Spotify, sons of bitches. They've taken By Any Means Necessary Radio down off of those platforms that I just outlined. So this is what the radio account, the show account, tweeted a couple days ago. Without explanation or notice, Spotify has removed By Any Means Necessary from their platform, but we're not going anywhere. There's a clear effort in motion to suppress anti-imperialist and anti-capitalist voices. So join our fight by spreading the word. Now, they posted an update. I think this was yesterday, and this is where Jackie and Sean posted that they learned that Spreaker, a site that distributed By Any Means Necessary to podcast platforms, cease publishing Radio Sputnik shows all together. Now, you can still listen to By Any Means Necessary at sputniknews.com/radio_by_any_means necessary. And also on the Sputnik News app. So we love Jackie. Like, we love Jackie, okay? Like, we love Jackie. And I actually reached out to Jackie yesterday because when I started to see the news about the RT layoffs, and we're going to get to those momentarily, I hit Jackie up like, yo, everything good? We good? Everything good? We good? And Jackie said she was good. But I do not like this, okay? And it doesn't shock me that obviously an outlet like By Any Means Necessary with stated anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist, and of course anti-war views would be targeted like this. But it just kept going, did it not? And I don't even think that I included her on this list. If we could get A3, I'm sorry, Tunde. Molly told me that Abby Martin was also targeted for removal of her program. And also, here we go. So by banning Russia media outlets. This was a good one. By banning Russian media outlets, the EU exposes its discomfort with alternative narratives of the Ukrainian crisis. And that is posted by the peoplesdispatch.org. You guys should actually check that piece out. It just really exposes number one, that the xenophobia and the Russophobia that is sweeping across Western Europe and apparently sweeping across the United States it is reaching a fever pitch. And this has really disastrous consequences, not only for people's immediate short-term livelihood, right? But just the broadcasting and the acceptance of dissenting voices and dissenting perspectives. Like, for example, it's really, really rich for Spotify to take down people's podcasts. And there's Joe Rogan, right? And it's crazy because there was a lot of white leftists, you guys, like rooting for Joe Rogan. Like, no, you can't censor Joe Rogan. You can't censor Joe Rogan. And then here come the censoring of lefty voices. I don't see Joe Rogan taking up for them niggas, but maybe now, let's be fair, I don't watch Joe Rogan. I am not a consumer of the Joe Rogan experience, but I have not been aware of Joe Rogan taking a stance. Hold on, let me go to the chat because y'all might know some shit that I do not. And that's fair because I love for y'all to tell me things. So thank you so much for that. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dave G is in the house. Dave, come on, appreciate to see you, baby. Appreciate to see you. Yeah. So wait. I'm sorry. I said I was going down the list, didn't I? And I got all distracted. And I've only had 2 J's today, y'all. I'm only half of my 5J usual. So I should not be quite as scattered. So let's go to A4 Tunde. So this is posted by journalist and podcaster Lee Camp. In the span of 1 week, my comedy show of 8 years was canceled because of sanctions. My podcast of 12 years was banned by Spotify, and my YouTube is now banned across Europe, all in the name of U.S. imperialism. And Lee posts his Patreon there, patreon.com/Lee Camp, if you want to keep supporting Lee's work. Redacted Tonight was rather good. Let's head on to A5, if you could, Tunde. And this was, and I don't like the response that this tweet has been getting. I didn't like the response that the tweet posted by Any Means Necessary got, because a lot of racists came out to show their whole ass. And not just racists, but for example, under this RT tweet that I'm about to read to you guys, I mean, a bunch of that's what you get, and Putin and this and that. And it's like, do you understand that these are American jobs that RT is given? RT is given journalists, and I know there's been some anecdotal stories about people who have worked at so-called mainstream outlets who were recently laid off by RT as a part of this Russophobia, red panic, red scare that is engulfing the United States again. But RT gives people like, I mean, I worked for Voice of Russia radio before it was Sputnik radio. And it gave people like me an opportunity, gave people like Jackie an opportunity because I'm sorry. Do y'all think CNN is checking for us? Well, first of all, hold on, because you know goddamn well we ain't checking for CNN. So I'm trying to think of where's a comparable place that I would not be nauseous working at a mainstream outlet, and that sort of eludes me at the moment. But you understand what I'm saying, right? In order to get in order to have a career, in journalism, first of all, you have to be able to support yourself, and journalism jobs usually do not pay all that well. Even the coastal jobs in New York, DC, San Francisco, LA, etc. But if you can get one that pays you a living wage relative to certainly the cost of living in your area, and give you editorial freedom, there's not many places doing that, y'all. And whatever my conflicts may have been upon my exit, I'm gonna be fair and real as shit about my experience for working for Russian media. They never told me what to cover. And in the instances where story suggestions were made, my editor at the time, his name was Rustem. Rustem was a whole fucking G out here. Rustem had covered some shit, and there was footage of Rustem getting shot by a sniper, and he survived. And this was my editor at Voice of Russia, right? So Rustem was like, Kim, we really want you to talk to Angela Davis. Can you talk to Angela Davis? Because you're one of my little Black Panthers. Now, I didn't say the niggas was not inappropriate, okay? Like the Russians had their inappropriate moments. The patriarchy is very real in Russian society. So they weren't perfect, but I will say this. I mean, again, the story suggestions I got was not, hey, why don't you do this puff piece on Vladimir Putin and his philanthropic endeavors? No, it's never no shit like that. And I think part of the reason why Russian media allows people like myself, or allowed people like myself and Jackie to be on the airways, is because, I mean, we're not fans of America. It's really pretty plain. And that is not espousing any sort of Russian propaganda. Sweetheart, I am a Black American. I can let the shit fly from right here. I don't need nobody feeding me no Russian propaganda talking points to talk shit about America. Shit. 43 years of breathing the air on this rotten colony has given me plenty of things to be critical about the United States and capitalism about, with no question. So please, people who are being smeared or maligned as Russian puppets, as Russian bots, I'm just saying from my experience, and again, Jackie Lukman does not strike me as somebody who is going to be led by the nose and talking favorable things about Russia or Putin. I assure you she probably has not done those things because, I mean, shit. Anyway, but y'all get what I'm saying. So there's that. In addition to Lee, right. So here we go. I'm sorry, I was supposed to be reading this tweet, and I got all distracted. So TNR Productions, which is the company behind the American-based RT offshoot, confirmed the closure in a memo describing the result of unforeseen business interruption events. So this is where they have announced that they have made layoffs. It confirms that it would mean the permanent separation from employment of most TNR employees. I knew people still working at RT America. Their offices were not that far from Metro Center in downtown DC. And I just, my heart goes out to everybody who has lost their job because free speech in America is a fucking farce. That shit does not exist. We do not welcome in the sharing and exchange of all political viewpoints. And we are quick to condemn countries who act like us, right? We have a big issue with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We have failed to consider or even acknowledge the Russian perspective on this. I mean, Russia's made this shit very clear since 1997. Hey, y'all motherfuckers stay back there. Like, y'all stay over there. And they was like, huh, what? Scoot, right? So it's not like Russia has no perspective in this. And I'm not even saying that I agree with Russia. I'm saying Russia has a point of view, and Russian interests are, if American interests are legitimate in this conflict, if Ukrainian interests are legitimate, then I don't see how the Russian interests are any less legitimate. And let me be clear, American interests are not legitimate in this. This is all empire versus empire, and I'm rooting for both empires to lose. I don't root for emperors, baby. I don't cheer for Caesar. No, I wish death upon Caesar. Caesar must go. Caesars, plural. So sad for the people working at RT America to be laid off. But there's also been like a converse. Well, actually, yeah, let's go to A6. So in this sort of censorship purge, goofy shit is happening. Like mainstream outlets that they didn't mean to suspend is getting suspended, which concerns me about our little platform here. And I'll tell you the little goofy shit that YouTube has done in just a moment. But let me read this tweet from Ryan Grimm, who hosts a show on The Hill. He says he's going to have a story up soon, but it's bananas. We played a Trump clip, and in his ramblings, he referred to a rigged election. So now we're suspended for spreading misinformation. By playing a clip of the president of the United States, they got their channel suspended. And I laugh because it's bad, right? Because if they're suspending, who is that? Ryan Grimm? And is that Kim Iverson over there? Sure. And I know, they're not Democrats, but I mean, they suspended them. You feel me? Over something silly like a misunderstanding, then or the playing of a Trump clip and somehow that being flagged as misinformation, broadcasting disinformation. Y'all, a lot of people are in trouble. A lot of people are in trouble, and a lot more people on the left are in trouble than we think. And it's a shame that that we are going to see the reciprocity happening from Russia as well. If you could pop up, I think this is A7 there, Tunde. Yes. So, pardon me. This journalist reported, as they predicted, in response to censoring RT Sputnik, Russia has now restricted Radio Free Europe and Radio Liberty, which is more influential in Russia than its Russian counterparts were in the West. Nose cut off to spite its face. So Radio Free Europe and Radio Liberty are I know US funds Radio Liberty, which is Russian language American propaganda, I guess, that Russia allows to be broadcast, or at least it did up until very recently. And Radio Free Europe is very similar. I don't believe it's entirely US government financed. I think it's probably a combination of the NATO powers. Anybody who has a working knowledge of how Radio Free Europe works, there's that. So we're seeing people losing their jobs, first and foremost. This is the thing that bothers me as much as the censorship, because this is a very small business. And unless you look a certain way, I think working at RT or having worked at RT or for Russian media, I don't think it shines on your resume. I don't think it glistens. Because and especially now, especially now with all the increased xenophobia against Russians, against Russian products. At some point, you guys, this shit this is long crossed into goofiness to me, right? Because I want you to imagine, I imagine like another industrialized nation, like outright sanctioning America, right? Everything American products. I'm not talking about like Iran and North Korea. I'm talking about Japan or France or some place that, you know, America respects. And they just start, no, not to say that America ever respected Russia, but you understand what I'm saying. Someone comparable in economy and potentially militaristic might that would just outright sanction everything from the U.S. It's like, what? China don't even sanction everything from the U.S. Come on. So